According to Consumer Reports, 3 out of 4 people who buy a sofa bed end up regretting it. And sofa beds make that problem even worse because one purchase has to get comfort right twice. Once as a couch and once as a bed. And trust me, getting just one of them right isn't enough. So before you spend $1 on a sofa bed, here's 9 of the biggest mistakes to avoid. Mistake 9, judging it as just a sofa. As I mentioned earlier, a sofa bed has to do 2 jobs, not 1. It has to be a comfortable place to sit during the day and a comfortable place to sleep at night. And those are 2 completely different things, so don't judge it after just a few minutes of sitting. When you sit down, your weight is only on one spot for a little while, so almost any cushion feels comfortable. But lie on it for 8 hours and it's a whole different story. Your weight spreads across the whole surface, and that's when thin foam starts to sink and lose its support. Mistake 8, overlooking mattress quality. A lot of sofa beds come with a really thin foam mattress, sometimes only 2 or 3 inches thick. It might feel fine when it's brand new, but foam like that doesn't have much to give. Before long, it compresses, loses its support, and you're a lot closer to the frame than you want to be. So what should you look for instead? If the sofa bed is mostly for the occasional guest, then a foam mattress around 1.5 to 1.9 pounds per cubic foot and about 4.5 to 5 inches thick is enough. But if you'll be sleeping on it more regularly, then I'd start around 2 pounds per cubic foot. It'll hold its shape much better over time, and if your budget stretches a little further, then take a look at pocket springs or hybrid mattresses. Pocket springs move independently, so they spread your weight more evenly, and add a layer of foam on top, and you get the best of both worlds. Better comfort and a mattress that lasts much longer than plain foam. Mistake 7, picking the wrong fabric. Now, fabric is what pulls you in first. The color, the texture, how it looks under the showroom lights. But with a sofa bed, looks only tell part of the story. A fabric can catch your eye instantly and feel soft the moment you touch it, but neither tells you what it'll be like after a full night's sleep. Take leather, for example. It looks sleek, modern, and fantastic in photos, but it isn't very breathable. And depending on the temperature, it can feel cold when you first lie down or sticky after a few hours. Now, bonded leather is even less forgiving. Over time, it can crack and peel, and once that starts, there's really no turning it around. And don't think that every soft fabric is a good choice either. Some plush fabrics feel amazing at first, but they flatten, mat down, and start showing wear much sooner than you'd expect. So if I had to pick one fabric, then I'd go with a tightly woven microfiber. It strikes one of the best balances you can get. It's soft enough to sleep on, durable enough for everyday use, and much easier to keep clean. And most spills stay on the surface long enough to wipe away, and it holds up well without piling or looking worn after a few years. Mistake 6, underestimating the support bar problem. Now, a metal bar runs straight through the middle of a mattress, and its whole job is to hold the frame together once it's folded flat. Now, in a good one, foam buries that bar deep, so you'd never notice it's there. But if it's a weaker build, the foam barely covers it, and it digs right into your lower back at night. The easiest fix is to avoid the support bar altogether. Some sofa beds don't use one anymore. Instead, they support the mattress with wooden slats or a solid platform, so there's nothing for you to feel through the mattress in the first place. If you see terms like platform base or slat system in the description, then that's a good sign too. Mistake 5, choosing the wrong sofa bed mechanism. Now, you'd think every sofa bed opens the same way, but it doesn't work like that. The mechanism you choose affects everything, from how easy it is to set up, to how comfortable it feels, and how much space it takes up in your room. Now, most sofa beds fall into one of 3 designs. The first one is the pull-out, sometimes called a sleeper sofa bed. You take the cushions off, pull a metal frame forward, and unfold a mattress hidden inside. This gives you the closest thing to a real bed, especially if you want a queen-size sleeping space. But it's also the bulkiest option. It needs plenty of floor space when it's open, and you'll have to pull it out every time you want to use it. Next is the futon, and instead of hiding the mattress inside the frame, the mattress sits on top and folds down with it. Now, the biggest advantage is that the mattress is separate. Years from now, if it starts wearing out, you can replace the mattress without replacing the entire sofa. Just keep in mind that futons usually sit lower to the ground, so they aren't the easiest option to get in and out of for everybody. And then there's click-clack. It's about as simple as it gets. Push the backrest down and it locks flat, and you've got a bed in seconds. But there's no separate mattress. You're sleeping on the exact same cushions that you've been sitting on all day. And it's pretty narrow too, with most modern ones only being around 47 to 50 inches wide, so you're getting less space than a standard full-size bed. So don't spend your time looking for the best mechanism, because there really isn't one. The right choice is the one that fits how you'll use your sofa bed. Get that part right and you'll be much happier with it in the long run. Mistake 4, only measuring the sofa. Now, a sofa bed can nearly double in size once it's fully opened. So before you buy, don't just check the dimensions of the sofa, check the dimensions of the bed too. Then take a look at what's sitting in front of it. A coffee table, a side table, or anything else in the way can stop the bed from opening all the way. And don't stop there. Picture yourself actually using it. Can someone still walk through the room? Does the space still feel comfortable, or does everything suddenly feel cramped? Can you get in and out of the bed without having to squeeze past furniture? One last thing that's easy to forget is getting into the house. So make sure you've measured your doorways, hallways, stairwells, and any tight corners before it ever shows up at your door. Mistake 3, not checking the frame material. Now, you might not see the frame, but it's doing all the heavy lifting. Every time you sit down, lie down, or open the bed, that's the part that's taking the stress. And here you're choosing between 3 things: clean-dried hardwood, engineered wood, like plywood, MDF, or particle board, and steel. Now, out of the 3, clean-dried solid hardwood is the clear winner, and you can tell the difference the moment you put your hands on it. Push on a corner, lean on it, move around a little, and this frame feels solid. Just don't assume a wood frame means solid hardwood. Many cheaper sofa beds use engineered wood instead. It costs less to make, and that's fine for furniture that just sits there. But for a sofa bed, it's different. The frame isn't just holding you up, it's working every time the sofa changes position. And that's why weaker materials tend to reveal their problems much sooner. So I'd stay away from those engineered wood frames altogether. Now, steel is another strong option. Unlike wood-based materials, it doesn't change with the environment around it. Whether it's humid in the summer or bone dry in the winter, steel holds its shape without denting, warping, or even bending. Even so, cheaper steel frames can still develop annoying squeaks over time, and it comes down to weak joints. So if you have the choice, look for welded joints. Bolts are just borrowing time. They hold fine at first, but years of movement eventually shakes them loose. Mistake 2, trusting product photos. Online, almost every sofa bed looks like a dream, and it's no accident. Sofa bed photography is practically an art form, and once you notice it, you'll see the same tricks everywhere. The camera is almost always placed low, making the seat look deeper than it really is. Then you get the bed photo, often shot separately, with a mattress that somehow looks twice as thick as the one that shows up at your door. Of course, those photos still have their place. They're great for checking the color, the overall style, and whether the sofa fits your space. But when it comes down to how the sofa bed works, skip straight to the video. It's much better to watch a real person open it, close it, and use it than a slideshow or a polished 3D animation. You'll learn more in 30 seconds of real footage than you ever will from 30 perfect photos. Most reputable brands post a demo video these days, and if you've searched everywhere and still can't find one, then I'd see that as a warning sign. If a brand is confident in its mechanism, then there's no reason to hide it. Mistake 1, never checking what's behind a warranty. Now, a long warranty sounds great on paper, but don't let that number do all the talking. 10 years, lifetime, whatever it says, none of it means much if the coverage doesn't match. And here's where things get a little sneaky. The frame might come with that impressive 10-year warranty you saw advertised, but the folding mechanism, the part that does all the hard work, might only be covered for a year or 2. And say something does break during that time. The warranty may cover the replacement part, but still leave you paying for the labor to install it or the cost of shipping a heavy sofa bed back and forth. And I promise, by the time you pay for everything else, that free replacement doesn't feel so free anymore. And even if the warranty is still active, it doesn't help much if replacement parts are no longer available. So before you let a long warranty impress you, spend a few minutes checking what it includes. It's one of those little things that can save you from a very expensive mistake. And that's all for today. I hope next time you're shopping for a sofa bed, you know exactly what to check before you buy. And if you found this useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.